And we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the first ever edition of the A&E show. My name is Aiden, the A half of the A&E. I am joined here by Eli, the E half.
That's me.
Yep, that's him. And tonight we're going to be reviewing the August 22nd edition of Monday Night Raw. But before we get started, I just want to go over the basics of this channel. Right now we're kind of in a beta mode per se. So we're going to be doing some developmenting right now on our Twitter, which is at Aiden and Eli, spelled AIDEN and AND, Eli, ELI, real simple. My name's not always simple because it's spelled differently than most people, but that's besides the point. On there, we're going to be posting updates of what exactly we're doing and the changes we're going to be making, because right now we're planning on doing a show every week, but we're both in school. We're both going to have lives outside of this. So there's going to be times where we can't make a show, or maybe one of us can and the other can't, or we're going to change the schedule, maybe drop a show or something along those lines. We're not totally sure yet. But as maybe within this first week we'll know, maybe another one or 2 weeks, we'll probably be able to have
we adapt.
We adapt. We got a soft schedule right now, but we're going to adapt, and we're going to harden that schedule, so we can give you guys something to look forward to. We don't want to change it where maybe you're looking forward to watching one of our shows. Well, not watching because it's podcast, but listening to one of our shows. And we don't want to change it so you're let down, disappointed, whatever. So we're going to make sure it works out for everybody, including us and all the people, as we gain a base of listeners. And but yeah, that's that. Now let's get started. We have a big show to get through. 3 hours, Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, you do. An ass hurting 3 hours.
Happening. Yeah. I mean, tonight was better than the last few weeks.
The last 3 weeks. Ever since I went when Finn debuted, it's just it's been awful ever since.
The very first show of the brand split, the Raw in Pittsburgh. Yeah, Eli went to that. Lucky. Classic show, but I don't think SmackDown or Raw have really shown why this whole brand extension, brand split thing was a good idea. I'm standing by the fact that I think it was a bad idea. And you're already being able to see that with injuries. Sasha Banks is out. Finn Balor, who suffered an injury last night, is out now. Sami Zayn, we thought he was out. We're not totally sure, but apparently he was selling. Word on the street that it was selling, but I don't know. I wouldn't put him past, because he's the kind of guy that would work through a match with a broken ankle, as did Finn Balor last night with his shoulder, as did earlier this year with Neville. He worked through that match with a broken ankle. Not for much longer. But yeah, I mean, with that Sami thing, we'll get into it, and we'll just cover it more later. But yeah, the show started with Michael Cole and the announcers were talking about how Finn Balor was hurt last night. I tried to do a little bit of research myself on torn labrums, because I was curious, will he have to drop the title? I didn't know how serious it was. I read 8 to 12 weeks or something like that, but apparently it is 6 months, maybe more serious tear, or considering the fact that he's a wrestler and he's going to have to put more stress on it than the normal human being. It might be a longer recovery process, but all prayers up to Finn Balor. Hope he comes back sooner than the 6 months, like some of the other guys have. Seth Rollins came back sooner. Cena came back sooner. Hopefully he works hard, does not re-injure it, and comes back healthy. I'm not the biggest.
I know what you're about to say. Neither of us are really I'm a Finn Balor fan, but as of these recent weeks, and him winning the title last night, neither of us were very happy with that decision. We don't think it was the right decision, and I'm going to speak for myself and just say that I think Seth would have been better with the belt. That might not be a popular opinion, but the whole demon thing and the whole Finn getting pushed to the top was just rushed, and not really everybody on the main roster knew, or not casual wrestling fans who just watch the main roster don't exactly know who Finn Balor is yet. Exactly. And they're just going to slap the title on this guy who's been here for 4 weeks.
And you have guys with gimmicks, but when's the last time we've seen a top guy with a gimmick winning a belt? And you're not gonna develop his character at least, because in NXT, you might argue that he had character development in NXT, and if people really want to, they can go back and watch that. But he was not the Demon King in NXT. The paint was nothing more than what they call it, a scare tactic or whatever, to get in the minds of his opponent. That was it. And I like the fact that last night on the pre-show, Jerry the King Lawler made a point to say that, but then it was quickly shot down because probably Vince was in somebody's ear like, no, he's a real demon. But
that's actually what it is. Damn it.
Damn it. Yeah, exactly. It was never a good idea to do the whole Demon King thing, especially if you're going to rush him into that. At least make him just look like this underdog, likable. That he could never win. Don't put him on the level of Seth Rollins where it's an equal fight when he's only been on the roster for 4 weeks. I know he's wrestled in his career, his full-length career on the indies, just as long as Seth has, and he's worked just as hard as Seth to get to the WWE. But you have to understand that they have millions and millions of people watching this show. And a good chunk of those people are casual viewers who have never heard of Finn Balor before, before he debuted. So I thought it was rushed. And I'm not happy that he's hurt because he is a good worker. He can put on great matches. Should he have the belt?
Right.
No, because I don't think he's good on the mic. I don't think he can carry a feud. But still, I think he's a good guy to have around. And I never want anybody to be injured. I don't like Roman Reigns. I sure don't like him. But I would never wish an injury upon him.
Absolutely not. And each one of these guys on the roster should contribute to the show in some way, and Roman does that, and I don't want him hurt. And Finn should be doing that, but in a different way that he was going to. He shouldn't have been the champion immediately. He should have been this top tier face that he's always a good wrestler, but when is he ever gonna win? And they were gonna they should have slowly progressed him into this demon thing a couple months down the line. Whenever he's
I wouldn't have minded if it was a change in pace where he's this normal I wouldn't have minded if he didn't come out at SummerSlam with the pain, if they just kept it off of him, and then later down the line they bring it back, or they bring it and they make it this big deal. But when you have the guy come out on Raw the week before just to throw a few kicks and punches in the paint, and then let's not and then. He's this. They want to say he's this demon, but he comes out on Raw in one paint. SummerSlam, he's wearing something different. Okay, so he's a shape-shifting demon. They need to stick to something.
And it's they talk about him he's an actual demon, but then they'll just sit there and talk about his family's sitting in the front row.
They need to are you gonna go through with this demon gimmick, or are you gonna hold back? And also
pick.
Exactly.
Is he a demon, or is he just a guy that wears demon paint, which he is? I don't know why you would sell it any other way.
Yeah.
But I'll dig it.
I also think the whole demon idea, especially when he's not showing I would be cool with it if they didn't call him the Demon King, especially the fact that they had JoJo on the as the ring announcer, saying but putting emphasis on the fact that he was the Demon King. She said Finn Balor, and then put emphasis on the Demon King afterwards, made it the high point of what she was saying. So they're more concerned about the Demon King than they are with calling him Finn Balor. And if you're gonna do that, okay. He's the Demon King. Okay, you got me. He's the Demon King. Let's say I'm a little kid. I don't know wrestling is scripted, and I think he's an actual Demon King. Well, aren't demons supposed to be evil? Why is this I would be he can be a face when he's not wearing the paint, but can he show at least some sort of heel instinct when he's wearing the paint? Because demons, correct me if I'm wrong, but they are the literal spawns of Satan. So why is he a good guy? Why is he being belittled by Seth Rollins? Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Is that all you got, boy? And he's the demon king, the spawn of Satan. That's what you want him to be. But just like they have to define who he is. The paint can't be a gimmick if you're gonna like fall back on what he is out without the paint, and it's a mess right now. And I mean, I don't blame them because they only had 4 weeks to rush him to the top and give him the belt. But they shouldn't have done that in the first place. So
no,
I don't know.
Should have never happened. But we could discuss Finn Balor becoming an actual character and not just a guy that just slaps paint on himself in 6 months when he comes back. Hopefully they do it differently. Yeah. Hopefully it's
I don't want them to slap the title on him right away. I hope he gets put into a feud where he can really show off his stuff. I mean, he's not the best in a feud because he can't carry a feud on the mic. He's just not a good talker on the mic. He's not Titus O'Neil bad, but he doesn't have like that hard hitting emotion, those lines that just get you excited for stuff. He just says the basics like, "I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna beat you. You're gonna see the demon and all that stuff." Okay,
all over the world, and I'm the demon.
Yeah, exactly.
We get it, man.
Yeah,
shake it up.
I could sit here for an entire show and talk about my distaste for Finn Balor. By the way, again, stressing the fact that I'm still upset by the fact that he's hurt because he's a good worker. I'm just not a huge Finn Balor fan.
He's good in the ring.
Respect the dude. Respect everything he's done. Good in the ring, not great overall. That's my opinion, though. But we should probably move on to the show.
Yeah.
We're literally 10 minutes in off of a Michael Cole announcement. That's impressive. So Stephanie McFoley are in the ring, and Balor comes out. They call him out. His arm is in a sling, as expected. He basically just cuts a promo, basic stuff, achieved his dream, sacrifice had to be made, thanked the WWE for the opportunity, and he also thanked Rollins for giving him the match of his life, a favor that Rollins would not return. When Finn was walking up the ramp, Seth comes out, gives him a look, starts laughing. See, now, you could say Seth Rollins was the reason Finn is hurt. That's arguable. I really can't tell at this point. People are so 50-50 with it. Obviously, I don't think Finn should have reached his arm up, but it looked like Seth kind of threw him way too early. Maybe Finn wasn't expecting it, so he was going to try to catch himself.
It just...
It was just a mistake.
Yeah, I don't think you could blame one or the other. It was just kind of like a freak accident.
Yeah, I mean, is it a move that Seth should stop doing? At least into the barricade, yes. But the only other person he's hurt with that is Sting, and Sting was very fragile to begin with. So
yeah, he was what, 50-something?
Yeah, I mean, if he's more careful, he can do it into the corner. I just don't want him doing it into the barricade anymore because it always looks dangerous, and I'm sure it doesn't feel good to the person receiving it.
As nice of a spot it is, I just don't think that I think he could figure out a way to use the environment outside of the ring in a different, more high impact way. Because you know how Roman has the dumb drive by or whatever. He could pick something else that is signature to him that doesn't have as big of a risk.
And he has so much offense in the ring itself. I don't even think he needs to tap into anything outside of the ring. He can throw people into the barricade, just Irish whip them, that kind of stuff. Just do your simple heel stuff. I mean, Jericho doesn't get flashy with it. It's just maybe in a special situation he can do it. But I think, and it was so early in the match too. It wasn't even a deciding factor. That wasn't the big moment. That was the change of the tide. It was just literally. It just he just threw him into the barricade. Shoulder is hurt. He popped his shoulder back in, but he was able to go through the entire match fine. I didn't even notice, to be honest. I guess people were saying that he looked like he got hurt, but I did not notice the entire match.
Yeah, I didn't. Neither did I. There was an article that said it was off of the God's Last Gift, actually. But then I was like, no.
Now, I can imagine that the God's Last Gift sure did not help.
Oh no. They're not a chance.
No, I guess Seth didn't know that he was hurt.
I mean, I don't
Because
know.
I feel like, I mean, you're bringing in a move that you haven't hit at all in your main roster stint, and you're gonna bring it into the match where the guy just hurt his shoulder.
Yeah, it's not really
Like
convenient.
that, he had to have not known.
Yeah, I'm sure Finn wasn't like. I'm sure he wasn't like. "Ugh, I'm hurt, and then he was like, I'm fucking doing this anyway.
Exactly.
Like,
And
yeah,
I respect him. I respect him for that. And Sami Zayn, same way. I don't know if tonight was story. I mean, it makes sense if it was a story because they're probably just trying to get like massive Seth Rollins heat right now, and it worked. Even though Seth Rollins had nothing to do with Sami getting hurt in the match, if anything, it was Sami's mistake. But like you go on Twitter and people are like, "Oh my gosh, Seth Rollins is like a curse. Like whoever steps in the ring with Seth Rollins, they get hurt." Like that's good.
Yeah, that's good heat, especially if it's not real. Like,
yeah, if it's not real, like if they can just like build that kind of heat for him. I mean, it's a shame that he hurt Finn. It's a shame that he hurt Sting, and it's a shame that he hurt Cena. And he does need to be more careful in the ring. That's for sure. I mean, he puts on matches after matches after matches. It's kind of almost like irony, the fact that he puts on all of these matches on the live events and on Raw and SmackDown when there was no brand split week after week after week, and he never hurt anybody. But when the stage, when the spotlight is the brightest, he always seems to fold and hurt the person. Sting was probably one of his biggest matches of his title reign, and he hurt Sting. Getting the chance to fight Cena was huge. He hurt Cena. And then you have Finn in his pay-per-view debut match, and he hurts Finn for the first ever, to crown the first ever Universal Champion. So I think it's just maybe nerves. He gets a little too confident, or he's trying to make the match more perfect than what it should be. I don't know. But he does need to be more careful.
Could be a big coincidence, but I can't wait to hear what Bret Hart. I cannot wait to hear what Bret Hart has to say.
Yeah, Bret Hart's gonna have some strong comments about that. But this, I mean, it's a little bit. It's getting justified at this point. I would say if he hadn't have hurt Finn, it wasn't justified. But 3 injuries within the span of a year is pretty bad. And I know it's because his style is so smash mouth and athletic, and that not a lot of guys, just very dangerous. But
the other two. Yeah, you could maybe say Seth's fault, but this one just seemed like such a freak thing. Like, I don't know.
But Seth could have been more. He could have gotten Finn closer to the barricade before tossing him.
It's just, it's a game of inches when it comes to injuries and stuff. Like he could have been a foot closer, and he could have thrown him, and Finn could have moved his arm this much more, and he wouldn't have got hurt. But it's just like. It's tough to blame one guy and out of the two. But, yeah.
I just hope that I feel like whoever wins this Fatal 4-Way coming out of – it'll be an indication of how Vince is feeling about Seth right now. I mean, it seems like Seth should win because it makes the most sense. I don't think Big Cass is going to win. Oh, we're getting to the spoilers now. But, we'll touch on it later. I don't think Big Cass is going to win. I don't think – Owens, it just doesn't make sense. I think Seth has to win, and if he doesn't, I think they're going to continue Roman versus Rusev. There's so much left. I mean, I'm not huge in the match because neither guy is that good. I mean, Rusev is good when placed with a good opponent, but by themselves, neither guy is that good. It'll be hard hitting. I'm looking forward to that, and I am looking forward. Like the feud has been solid for a U.S. title feud. Like, I'm glad the U.S. title is getting that relevant spot, but
it's better than like what Del Rio, and it was like better than the Del Rio Kalisto feuds and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. It feels relevant, and I hope it continues. Like, I hope that. I mean, if that was it at SummerSlam and they're just ending it like that, that's ridiculous. What I think is going to happen, let's just get to it when there's a more relevant spot. Anyways, Seth comes out. He says he wants to have a celebration. And Sami Zayn's music hits. He's the first one to come out. He starts mouthing off to Seth. My heart was racing. Because I was talking before to everybody before the show with some of my friends, and I was saying, look at the card. Look at who's available right now, and I'm telling you right now, at Clash of the Champions, it's going to be Seth versus Sami. because there's no other top face that is currently doing nothing. Or it currently, currently doing nothing. So like I thought that was like it was gonna be Sammy's moment, but then Jericho's music hits, then Owens' music hits.
At this point, like okay, then I saw Jericho, and I'm like, okay, Owens is coming out. There's gonna be a fatal 4-way tonight.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, I'm content with this. This is gonna be a good match. Yeah, and then Enzo and Cass's music hit. And
I was like, okay, this is suddenly irrelevant. Like I don't like this. There goes Sami Zayn's moment. Like swept from underneath. And did you hear that reaction he got?
Yeah, everybody was singing the damn song and everything. It was awesome.
It was like the fans were popping hard for when they were like mouthing off to each other. But I just had a sick feeling because Sami Zayn didn't grab a microphone. They were just mouthing off. I'm like, somebody else is going to come out. And lo and behold, Enzo and Cass, and then followed by Roman Reigns.
By the biggest
series of matches, and the first match, Owens versus Sami Zayn. So there you go. You already knew Sami Zayn was going to lose right off the bat because obviously they're not going to have Seth Rollins lose to go into a normal contender to the championship match. Sami Zayn did indeed lose, but a little bit of a scare during the match, coming off of the bottom rope, I believe, where he does that, where he goes over the guy by bouncing off the rope over their head. Their head goes between his legs, and he lands on his feet behind them. When he was making his landing, it looked like he twisted his ankle or something, but it turns out, per Dave Meltzer on Twitter, that it was storyline. Now, the person on Twitter asked, was it a shoot or was it a work, or ordered it something like that? Shoot being real, work being fake, scripted stuff. And he said storyline. Now, he didn't say what they said. He didn't say it was a shoot. He said storyline. So this might just be the inner Sami Zayn speaking, the inner Sami Zayn fan of me speaking out. But it wouldn't surprise me if they went on to do Seth Rollins versus Sami Zayn at Clash of the Champions still. Now, I know Sami lost, and it's not looking good, but think about it. Why would it make sense to have Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens, or Seth Rollins versus Chris Jericho, heels, or Big Cass? That's just not going to happen. I don't think.
Or Roman Reigns, kill the US
title. Roman Reigns is going to be with Rusev, so that's not going to happen either. So I think what should happen is Seth Rollins wins the title, Sami Zayn comes out, and basically just have it like be an vengeance story. I don't care if Sami Zayn wins. He probably won't win. You know?
Yeah,
he probably won't.
It's still going to be a good match to end.
It's going to be a great match, a great main event. And the fact that Sami Zayn would be main eventing if they did this plan. And the story writes itself, really. Sami Zayn's best friend is Finn. Finn just just dropped the title. He was hurt. Now Sammy's hurt, but he's good enough to continue. He wants to win it for Finn. So when Finn comes back, he can fight Sammy instead of Seth because Seth injures everybody. He's trying to like protect Finn or whatever. And I don't know. I think it writes itself. Seth can be like, I hurt you. I hurt Finn. I can do it again. I've beaten you before. I'll do it again and again. And I think it's the perfect Seth Rollins being the cocky heel versus Sami Zayn being the babyface underdog. The perfect story they could do. And, again, look at the card. Look who's busy with stuff. Most of these guys are wrapped up in things. Kevin Owens has his thing with Jericho still. It does not look like that's ending. Roman Reigns has his thing with Rusev. Big Cass is definitely not ready to be champion or in the championship picture.
Or a singles.
You could argue. Yeah, exactly. He shouldn't be a singles competitor whatsoever. I'm surprised he's in this match. I would rather have seen Rusev, but I'm guessing they did it because they wanted Rusev to attack Roman during the match, cost him the match probably.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Seth is going to go over. And I would love to see Seth versus Sami Zayn for the title at Clash of Champions. As far as this match on Raw, it was good. Very good.
Especially Sammy's, I don't know how he made it. If it's fake, if it's just a work, like it was very convincing, the entire match.
For real.
It was great. It was a great match. It was a great story being told.
I don't think I've. Have you ever seen somebody sell like that?
No, I don't know how he. I don't know. It's just, and then
I just don't know how, because I can, like, people have like sold injuries before, but you can tell when it's fake.
yeah, like that one just left me puzzled the whole time. I didn't know if it was fake. I didn't know if it was real. If it's real, please get better soon.
Yeah.
But if it's fake, you're the best actor I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Please give this man an Oscar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. I mean that was incredible. If it was fake, and if it was real, yeah, exactly. I hope he gets better soon. He might be out for a little bit, storyline wise. They might keep him off.
I give it a week.
A week, yeah, probably. I mean, they never keep people off for much more than whatever.
Yeah. But
I mean, we'll see. I mean, and I'm interested. Like, I wish SmackDown had these Raw guys now, because now I have to wait a week to see. And Sami Zayn, like, I have such an emotional. Like, I should probably mention he's my favorite. Well, Seth is like my second favorite, like real close, but Sami's number one. So I have like a major emotional investment in him. Besides, like, I don't really worry about Seth, because I know he's already a top guy. He doesn't need that. But Sami is the guy that I'm scared is going to get lost in the shuffle, like he did going into SummerSlam. And he could get lost in the shuffle again. But now that Raw is its own show, doesn't have to share a card, why is he not in the main event picture? I don't care if he's fighting for the title, but he should have a relevant feud. Find a heel for him. Find somebody for him. Just, I don't know. And this is, speaking of just random people on the card, was there a Cesaro versus Sheamus match tonight?
No, they waited till next week for that.
Oh, fantastic! So it's gonna be every other week. So it's like a every other week thing. So 4 months of Sheamus versus Cesaro. Fantastic! Oh my gosh!
Anyways, are we grading segments?
Yeah. Let's grade it. Let's do A through F scale, minus the E. I would give this match a. I mean, for what I gotta give it an A minus, because it wasn't the best match, but Sami Zayn's selling, man. If that was selling, A minus, incredible.
Would also say the same, and even just not selling, if he fought through that injury and wrestled the way that he did, that's still phenomenal. Like, it was either way, it blows my mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Either way, he did a fantastic job.
And Seth did a good job not targeting it to make it look like it was real, and then targeting at the end like, oh, is it fake or
exactly?
What is it? It was just such a great story within 15 minutes. Like, I don't understand.
That was actually kind of a nice touch that I didn't really notice. Yeah, he kind of did stay away from the ankle, and obviously, if he went for the ankle directly afterwards, it would have been fake.
Oh yeah, it would have been.
But the fact that he didn't touch the ankle, I feel like he didn't know.
I don't know.
He was probably concerned, and then he like heard from the ref, or like somebody told him that it like to work the ankle.
Yeah.
Or,
I'm glad
he was just. Yeah, I mean, when he worked the ankle at the end, I was like, it was like either like, oh shit, is he just like, is he actually like? But then like I was like, okay, I was watching for how careful he was. Like, you can stomp an ankle without it like hurting it. But when he got down and he started like twisting his foot, I was like, okay, it has to be fine. There's no way he's twisting his ankle when he has an ankle injury.
Yeah.
If he is hurt, if it comes out that he is hurt, yeah, Seth Rollins is a little reckless.
Yeah.
But I'm praying for both. I'm praying for both Sammy's sake and Seth's sake that wasn't, because I'll probably be a little heated at Seth. You don't twit. Like, if it was real, you don't do that.
Come on, man.
But I mean, I'm sure it was fake. I'm sure he knows what he was doing. He's a professional. Sometimes, he makes little mistakes, but he's a professional at the end of the day. I doubt he did that on purpose, and I doubt it was real. But anyways, let's move on. Directly after that, we get Kevin Owens versus Neville. Obviously, a predictable match. Neville. I mean, It's needless to say that it was predictable because all those guys came out except for Neville. They came out in the opening segment. So when you don't have the guy coming out, oh no, Rusev didn't come out either. But that's understandable for a champion.
Yeah.
But when you like with a guy like Neville who's not really relevant in the first place, and he's coming out to who is fresh off of a victory from SummerSlam, what could you expect? I mean, they even gave Neville some cushioning with the fact that Jericho came out and distracted him.
Yeah.
Like, that was nice of them. They could have just let Kevin Owens go over without Jericho at all, but, you know.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. Yeah, I'm glad. I was happy with how the match went out, and I'm excited to see if Neville is one of the guys that takes advantage of this cruiserweight division, which I believe he will be, especially since he's been here longer than the guys that they announced tonight. I believe that they're confirmed for the division.
I heard Rich Swann, Noam Dar,
Brian Kendrick, and T.J. Perkins.
Who's the other one? Shoot.
T.J. Perkins.
Oh, T.J. Perkins. There you go. All right, yeah, I'm looking forward to that, by the way. And I don't want Neville. I don't want Sami Zayn in there per se. I know, but I think he's like a few pounds over a cruiserweight, anyways. But I just really hope he stays out of it because cruiserweight. The people who won the cruiserweight title, if you go look at the history, there weren't many top stars to go for the cruiserweight championship.
3.
I think didn't Ray win it?
I think Ray, Eddie, and Jericho.
Okay, so yeah, there are a few guys who won it, but I mean, it just goes to show. I mean, it ended with Hornswoggle as champion, so
yeah, it just turned into a joke. Not that it's going to be a joke this time, because I believe they're actually going to take it seriously for a while.
Yeah,
but I'd rather see a guy like Sammy at the top of the card and a guy like Neville, who I don't think is going to really be a world champion anytime soon or ever, honestly, to stay here and dominate this kind of.
Neville just doesn't. You said that he probably won't be the world champion ever, and that's like fair to say because right now at least he's being overshadowed by the downplaying of Sami Zayn. Like you go and look at social media, everybody's complaining about Sami Zayn not being in a relevant spot. Now, there are also people saying Sami Zayn and Neville, and there's a very small minority saying they just want Neville to get pushed. But the majority of the people are more they're hungrier for Sami Zayn. And
which he does have a more complete package than Neville does.
Exactly. I think he's
as exciting as Neville is in the ring, Sammy is just a better ring worker. He's more diverse, and he also has that mic work, that character that's there.
Yeah, exactly. He's a more complete package. In my opinion, one of the most complete packages in the company. He hasn't had the development yet to really take that top spot. I'd say it probably goes to Seth right now.
But he will get in time.
In time, if he's treated well, if he isn't relegated to a small position on the card on a weekly basis, especially if he's fighting Seth. Like, even if he loses, a win would be pivotal for him. But you know what? This is about Neville right now. I love talking about Sami Zayn. I'll have a lot of opportunities to do that in the future. But let's move on. Yeah, so Kevin Owens beats Neville. That was that. Solid match, entertaining match. One little thing I'll give it a B. I'll give it a B plus. I'll up the ante a little bit. But one thing I didn't like about this match was I think it was just a little bit of a mistiming where Kevin Owens, Jericho came out to distract Neville, and Kevin Owens came around from the other side of the ring and clocked Neville with a clothesline. And Neville's one of those guys, when you hit him with a clothesline, he's going to flip.
Yeah,
I did notice. He kind of started to flip before Owens hit him.
Yeah, it looked like he completely missed the clothesline a little bit. It looked like it was just kind of a little bit of a early reaction from Neville.
Yeah, he flipped a little early. I mean, it still looked cool, like probably like to the fans, which they reacted to it, of course, because it looks cool from an angle. When you don't see it from the TV angle, I'm sure it looks sick. But I saw it was Neville he flipped a little bit too early. But hey, I appreciate the fact that he does crazy stuff like that.
Yeah, so especially it wasn't even in the ring. It was on the outside.
Yep. Oh. All right. Let's move on. We got a New Day promo. Forget what that was about.
It was 365. What are you talking about? It was a year with the titles.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah.
How could you forget?
I'm about to say this while I'm wearing a New Day shirt, but I don't. They're just getting a little dull for me.
Ever since, what was it, January, I've been like, man, they need something fresh. Maybe not January. It was, because that's when they were like with wrestling the Lucha Dragons. And I'm like, man, they need something to freshen themselves up. Like maybe lose the title and then put them in chase mode. But it's been, 7 months since that? 8 months? Yeah. And it's just been rinse and repeat for week after week after week. Like they do something funny and then somebody comes out and just like calls them out. Oh, you're not funny. Yeah, we are.
Exactly. And I'm so hungry for new tag team champions. Like as entertaining as the New Day can be, you've got guys now like Jericho, who I don't know what they're doing with, because they're like already teasing tension a month into their development. And I hope that's just kind of like a character thing where they just kind of like make fun of each other. Assholes. Yeah, they just kind of like be jerks to each other the entire time, because I don't want to see them split up. I mean, especially considering the fact that they just beat the hottest tag team in the WWE and Enzo and Cass at SummerSlam. If they split up, that'd just be a waste of an Enzo and Cass loss, because they've been protected. Yeah. Enzo and Cass have been cushioned. Heck, Big Cass is in that match next week, that Fatal 4-Way. The Elite of Monday Night Raw, Big Cass. Yeah, right. I don't know why Sami Zayn's not in it. I hope it has to do with the fact that they're doing a story, because Big Cass over Sami Zayn,
or
a little bit frustrating.
Rusev. Anybody else? Hell, even Neville deserves that spot.
I understand why they didn't do Rusev. I understand. Like, okay, I mean, I get it. Like, they don't want Enzo and Cass to lose too much. But why didn't they just, like, switch out maybe Kevin Owens and Big Cass, and then do Sami Zayn and Rusev, and then let Rusev walk out on Sami Zayn, and let Kevin Owens beat Big Cass with a Jericho distraction or something like that. It would even feed off of last night's win and make Jericho look even stronger, and it continue the struggle of Enzo and Cass to find their footing after their loss. But yeah. It's just, I don't know. I can complain about the little things forever, but we got to move on. So
next,
Big E versus Carl Anderson.
That happened. Yeah, that happened.
Big E won. That happened.
It wasn't bad.
It sure did happen.
It wasn't bad.
Well,
it wasn't good. It wasn't bad.
I actually made a sandwich during this match.
Nice.
And instead of talking about the match, I'm going to tell you what my sandwich had, because I feel like that would be more entertaining than the match. Like, I didn't watch the match, so I don't know how entertaining it was, but just a lucky guess. But it was a bread roll. It had turkey, lettuce, a little bit of mustard, just like a little bit, not overkill. And yeah, that was it. Brought it back here, started watching Raw, ate my sandwich, came back, watched a terrible Titus O'Neil promo. Speaking of which, that's next. Titus O'Neil cuts a promo.
Titus O'Neil can't speak English properly.
He didn't
Breaking news.
That was something.
What the hell was that?
I mean, as I said on Twitter, he has, by the way, I live tweet Raw. Eli live tweets Raw. Follow us on Twitter at Aiden and Eli. But yeah, I mean, as I pointed out, he got charismatic towards the end. I liked that he looked natural, but he just kept on botching his lines like no other. That was like developmental Roman Reigns right there.
Oh, it was bad. It was
Roman Reigns
some bad stuff.
You remember that? It was like after he came out during I think it was Seth versus John Cena in a tables match.
Yeah, I do
And
remember
he
that.
cut a promo like saying that he's gonna be in the Royal Rumble. Oh, it was that bad. It was that bad.
Oh,
His lines
it
were
was-
all over the place. He was saying things wrong, had to repeat himself in a monotone apology, but he didn't really say sorry. He just kind of like corrected himself. The crowd starts chanting, "We want Slater." Yeah, you know when you're cutting a promo and they start chanting for Heath Slater, that's kind of sad. And then I think Bob Backlund might have missed his cue because he called
because
out
he's
Darren Young, and then he starts just like, "What's up with this Bob Backlund dude?" Like he's like a stand-up comedian. Like he just had to start like roasting Bob Backlund, but he kept on stumbling over his words again and again until Bob Backlund got his old ass out there, got like pushed, and then Darren
took an
Young body slammed
unnecessary
him.
body slam.
He took that body slam. Oh my God, Titus O'Neil's a savage. How could he do that to an old man? Then he lays out Darren Young
I
with
like
whatever. Was that
with
the
the
Clash
Clash
of
of
the
the
Titans? Okay.
Titans. I like his repeated every time he sees Bob Backlund, I will beat your old ass up, or whatever he says every time.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
he
just
finally
that
got
feud.
heel heat. He finally got some heel heat, but I think it was more because he just cut the worst promo of 2016. And I thought Charlotte was the. Remember, like I think we were talking about this like way earlier this year when Charlotte cut that promo that had the infamous line of Flair and Square in it. Like I thought that was the worst promo of 2016, but I was wrong, dead wrong. This was it.
Yeah, this takes the cake.
Nobody can take the cake. Nobody can take that. Do you imagine a Titus O'Neil versus Roman Reigns feud?
Wow. Don't even put that idea in my head.
Yeah, yikes. That would. It just be cringy line after botched line after cringy line after botched line after 10-minute match that ends with Roman Reigns winning, and then Titus O'Neil complains about it the next week on Raw in botched lines. All right, that's enough of that though. So that was a little segment. Titus O'Neil looking like a monster heel. He just took out an old man and his old man servant, student. I mean, and yeah, that sure happened. And then they've been hyping up this all night long. They were hyping up this confrontation with Stephanie McMahon and no. I'm sorry. They're hyping up. They're going to explain Brock Lesnar's actions and talk about that. They're hyping up. I'm guessing they might have been saying Stephanie was going to talk about it the entire time. I sure wasn't listening hard enough. So it's Tom Phillips, it's Stephanie McMahon. They're backstage, and I think Tom asked like something about did Brock go too far or something like that. I forget the question. It was so bad.
Yeah, it was like because Shane tweeted something like, "Oh, the Brock Lesnar's a main event attraction, but he just went too far," and Stephanie just went, "Brock Lesnar did go too far. There will be repercussions,"
and then walks off. For what to be explained?
Nothing.
Nothing. I mean, Brock probably won't be out. He's probably gonna get suspended for his 30 days or whatever, because he's he's doing those those estrogen blockers or whatever. But I don't know. Stupid little segments that are just waste of time. Speaking of waste of time, Rusev versus Big Cass. Rusev just walks out. He purposely counts himself out, and he can no longer fight for the Universal Championship. So what do you do when you have a shot at being the number one contender, or being in a – no, I'm sorry, not even the one contender. Inserting yourself into your show's world title match. You walk out. That was goofy. I did not get the mentality. I mean, Rusev, everything he does, even if it's not him, it just – as long as he's involved with it, the logic just does not seem to flow. I mean, it was the same last night with Roman Reigns where, he's trying to win the United States Championship. He wants that championship, yet he's going to attack Rusev to the point where Rusev can no longer compete. That didn't make much sense. So these people are just, like, costing themselves the belt for no reason. And that's, reasons like that and the Titus – I mean, just look at the fact that the Titus O'Neil promo, the Stephanie promo, and then this match were back to back to back. Raw hits these low points, man. And then we get a Charlotte promo. I'm not even gonna rate these matches. I'm gonna rate matches that are actually
watchable,
worth my time. Yeah, I mean, it was watchable. It just wasn't worth my time. It's not worth my breath. But Charlotte comes out to cut a promo to celebrate her title win. Obviously, somebody was going to come out. She starts to leave. Mick Foley comes out. Foley introduced that Raw's newest signing was Bayley. Bayley comes out, challenges Charlotte. I just said Charlotte. Wow, challenges Charlotte for the women's title. And then they do Bayley versus Dana Brooke. Bayley wins real quick.
of course.
Per NoDQ.com, Michael Cole apparently called Dana Brooke Dana White.
Nice.
That's offensive.
Dana White would be a better wrestler than Dana Brooke.
Probably.
I
heard rumors that Dana Brooke was going to go back to NXT, but I guess that was wrong. And unfortunately so, because Dana Brooke is
awful.
Real bad. Yeah, real bad.
I'm not gonna. We can't sugarcoat it.
I know.
Because you'll die from diabetes if these other.
Okay. Whoa. You're too white for that, Eli.
I didn't say it.
You're getting there. I heard the.
No, you didn't.
All right.
We're
it's cool to see Bayley on Raw. It's cool to see Bayley. I'm not same with Finn. Not the biggest Bayley fan, but I do respect her. I respect everything she's done for this business, everything she's done for the women's revolution. Because if anything, it was Bayley and Sasha Banks who sparked that with their incredible matches last year.
No, it was Emma and Paige. What are you talking about?
Emma and Paige. I have watched a few minutes of that one. Definitely have. Well, I mean, I guess they kind of, like, honestly, if you want to, like, go back that far, they did. And Natalya and Charlotte had a part in it as well. They had great matches.
The Four Horsewomen, Fatal 4-Way, that was cool.
That was cool. They had a lot of great matches. But I feel like Sasha and Bayley was a match that, it main evented a show. It was the first ever Iron Woman match. They started breaking these barriers. It wasn't just the fact that they're having great matches. It was that they're having great matches in great positions on the card. And they're being given the time, and they're being given the adoration that women normally don't get in the company. And I'm a big fan. I'm cool with women's wrestling, but I'm not cool with, I don't get why so many people, they like force themselves to be a fan of it. It's not good. A lot of the time, it's not good. And I'm not saying it's because of the wrestlers. You have incredible people. You have Charlotte. You have all the Four Horsewomen, on top of people like Natalya, people like Alexa Bliss, Carmella, all talented people. But the way that they book them, it's always like these 6-person tag team matches like you got at SummerSlam. Of course, you wouldn't have an actual feud. There was no feud behind that. It was 3 faces versus 3 heels. But all those girls pretty much had the potential to be in these like top tier feuds, but they aren't. On Raw, Sasha versus Charlotte was barely getting anything. It should be a big deal. They should be opening show. I mean, they opened that one show, but it's just to do that little intergender tag team match. They should be closing shows. They should be opening shows. And I remember when Charlotte and Paige closed the show, but that doesn't count because Paige is not good in my opinion. She's overrated.
She also
as all
name dropped Reed Flair, which was not good.
Yeah, that was insensitive. I'm sure they got permission from the family. Still insensitive in my opinion, and just poor taste. Was Paige even the heel on that?
I think
she was.
Yeah, because they did it twice. They did that match twice, and it was back to back. I think the first time Paige was the heel.
Oh yeah, that was the development. That was like while Charlotte was turning heel. See, stuff like that. Like they're just so like the girls. They just turn them heel face. I'm glad it's more balanced now. There hasn't been a heel turn in a while, but before it was like every month. And I'm glad that they brought Nikki Bella back as a heel. Because guess what? When she left, she was also a heel. So don't be surprised. I mean, she got a pop when she returned, but I'm glad it wasn't like one of those things where like I like it when a bad guy comes back as a bad guy, because it doesn't happen a lot. I kind of I was kind of upset at first that Seth wasn't coming back with this huge face return. But if he's going to be a good heel, and he has been to this point, then by all means, keep him a heel. Because I'm sure he wouldn't have fought Finn Balor for the title if he was a face. I'm sure he wouldn't be in this big position if he was a face. So I'm happy. But yeah, Bayley versus Dana Brooke, that wasn't much. Just a quick match to put Bayley over. She wins with the Bayley to belly. Probably my least favorite finisher in wrestling.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
It's so bad. I mean, it's just the fact that somebody like, I always go back to this example. Big E uses that move and does not pin anybody off of it. But look at his size compared to Bayley's size. And look at the emphasis he puts on his belly-to-belly suplexes compared to hers. Hers aren't even that good. I mean, they're solid, but they aren't that good. And it's her finisher? Like, I don't get why it's her finisher. Like, who thought of that idea? I like the name Bayley to belly. It'd be a cool signature, but it's not something you pin somebody off of. You aren't gonna, you can't beat somebody. Like, I like that when she was doing like the guillotine chokes against Nia Jax. Like, that'd be cooler than what she does.
Yeah, and it's like the same thing with like the Paige Turner with Paige. Like, it's a cool name, but that shouldn't be her finisher. And I'm glad they changed her finisher. So I'm hoping Bayley gets a similar treatment somewhere.
I mean, when the fans start, I don't know.
It doesn't seem devastating. Like, I feel like the only time it's ever looked devastating was in Brooklyn last year. When, like, Sasha literally just threw herself up in the air and, like, killed herself.
Exactly. Because, like, you're doing, like, they did that huge, like, Frankensteiner spot, and then you're going to end up with a belly-to-belly suplex. Okay. Like, I'm glad that Sasha did that. Because, like, you have to put – I'm sure Sasha knows the move is bad. It's a stupid
No, she has to. Yeah.
Because she put her heart into selling that.
Bayley might even know it's a stupid finisher. Because it's that dumb.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, again, respect to Bayley, but I can just nitpick these little things, but I don't want this show to be too long. And we're going to have plenty of shows in the future, as I said, to do this kind of nitpicking. So let's not burn ourselves out here. I'll give the match a C for what it's worth. It wasn't really much from a solid, like from a wrestling standpoint. It wasn't much, but it did its job. It gave Bayley the win in convincing fashion, and I'm sure that's all they're trying to do.
I'll give it a C+. It was just the point of the match was to introduce Bayley to the people who just watch the main roster, and she got the win over a shitty jobber like Dana Brooke, and that's fine.
Yep. There you go. I didn't see this segment, but apparently Sheamus ripped on Cesaro and the sports teams in New York. Cheap heel heat, it seems. Foolish. I just... Why would you not just get this out of the way? Just do Cesaro versus Sheamus back-to-back weeks. Just get it out of the way. Nobody wants to see this. You're forcing it down our thing,
Yeah,
I mean, I like the match. They have a lot of chemistry together, but yeah, exactly. As you were to say, 7 matches, and you're not going to do them. There's a brand split now, so you have time. Do it on SmackDown,
but you just do it on Raw. You make do with what you got, and you have 3 hours a week.
Exactly, and they're doing stuff like that stupid little Stephanie segment. They're doing that stupid Titus promo. They can cut off the fat and just give them some time. Give them like 10 minutes. They don't deserve much more because we've already seen what they can do 3 times.
And only one of them counted.
Yeah, only one of them counted.
Like I do like the idea of this like best of 7 thing. I believe it should be 5 max because I watched Lucha Underground and they did this in season 1 of Lucha Underground with 2 actually. Like it was Aerostar and Drago, and those guys could like diversify themselves in the ring each match. But these 2, Sheamus and Cesaro, especially Sheamus, I'm not gonna nitpick at Cesaro because I think he's phenomenal in the ring, but Sheamus can't really diversify his offense that much each time. It's just power move after power move.
Yeah, I feel like, but I feel like one show is gonna have like 3 matches or something.
2 out of 3
There's gonna
falls.
be like
Okay.
a roll up, and then there's gonna be like, I want a rematch, roll up, I want a rematch, actual match. Like they're
I
gonna
hope.
make it easy. They're gonna make it easy.
I hope. Because if not, it's just going to be ass-hurtingly long, and I don't need that. I just don't
Exactly.
need to watch 7 of these matches.
I don't. I'm cool with the 3 I've seen. And if it was
Yeah.
at SummerSlam, they did a 2 out of 3 falls, I would have been cool with that too. Because Sheamus and Cesaro have undeniable chemistry. That's for sure.
They do.
They have a lot of chemistry in the ring. I would not have minded seeing this become a feud. But they've already done it 3 times, and they're probably going to go all 7 matches. So by the end of it, we're probably going to see 9 matches in a row.
Because Sheamus sure as hell isn't going to bury Cesaro 4 times in a row. And exactly. I doubt that Cesaro will do the same because it'll just make one of them look weak. So
it'll be very back and forth.
Yeah.
And Cesaro will probably win at the end.
At the least, it'll go 6. But it'll go, if they go 6, why not go 7? Fuck it.
Exactly. Just go 7. Just give us that like game 7 feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking forward to the 7th match. 1, because it'll be the end. 2, because I'm sure that's probably going to be the best match if there is a 7th. They're probably going to put their heart into that one. Make it the most near falls, the most this and that. You know, I mean, I think Sheamus is one of the best non-indie wrestlers in the company. So, and Cesaro is from the indies, but he is, again, one of the best in the company, in my opinion. He gets a little dull from time to time, character-wise, because he doesn't have much of a character. But phenomenal in-ring worker. Phenomenal work ethic. You know, he just goes out there, he puts on incredible matches no matter who he's fighting, and I appreciate that. I respect it. But just, I don't know about this best of 7 thing.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a rough thing to sit through, I think.
But there's also kind of another best of 7 series going on, because it's Braun Strowman versus unidentified jobber.
No, it was Johnny Knockout, and the reason he took this match was because he likes big, sweaty men.
Did he say that?
Yeah. You didn't? No. Did you watch this?
I didn't. I watched it with the audio off.
Okay. Byron walks in and he goes, "Johnny Knockout, after you've seen what Braun Strowman could do, what's your reason for taking this match?" And he goes, "Byron, it's because I like big, sweaty men." And then Byron just walked away. That's all that happened.
That's all that.
Yeah, and he got his ass kicked.
Oh my gosh, that's according to NoDQ. By the way, shout out to NoDQ.com. That's where I get all my results. I'm reading it right off them. I mean, I'm not reading it word for word, but I'm getting my results from them. Great website. That's where I get all of my dirt sheet news and whatnot. They make sure to filter it so it's not just a bunch of nonsense. They'll give you what you need. So go to NoDQ.com. But yeah, apparently they're chanting "Let's go, jobber." So they're being very respectful to this Johnny Knockout fellow. He sure did not win.
Knock out Braun Strowman.
I did not knock out Braun.
In fact, he got pinned twice to both of them.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Braun's finishers.
That was kind of pointless.
Dumb.
I mean, the referee stood up to Braun in the first. Like, I feel like the referee originally was supposed to be cowering and immediately doing what Braun says, but he's like, "I'm not, dude, what?" He's just confused.
Can that referee please be the first match that Braun has for real? Like a regular, a storyline match.
That's what I tweeted. What do you think Braun's first feud is going to be? Do you have any predictions?
I really can't say that I do.
I feel like it's going to be a guy who shouldn't be fighting him like Neville.
Unfortunately, it might be. Well,
a guy
I feel
people are gonna be like, "Oh, this size advantage," but Neville's gonna put in work and actually do stuff. But then Braun will win in the end.
Unfortunately.
Well, yeah.
But when's the cruiserweights get here? When do they get here? The 19th, I think it said. So hopefully,
yeah.
Hopefully, Braun keeps mowing down jobbers till then, and Neville could just go to the cruiserweight division, and all will be well.
What if Braun stops? What if he drops a few pounds and joins the cruiserweights? A few pounds. Is it possible for a man of his size to drop down
Till 205
to their 205?
Especially after,
is that physically possible? Would you have to be like bones?
I just think. Yeah, I don't think because he's like as big. He's like muscle too, and it's hard to lose muscle unless you just don't lift for like.
You should just stop lifting, stop eating.
Yeah, and he'll be fine. He'll make 205 easy in a month.
Imagine if he's doing some like moonsaults and stuff. That'd be sick. I hope he has the same theme song.
Yeah, I just don't like this Braun Strowman character.
You don't like him, huh?
No, and I'd rather I'd rather have the time slots be given to Nia Jax, as much as I don't like her either. I just don't think.
Where's Nia Jax?
I know where's she been? She might be one of the suspendees.
She might be. I saw people saying Sami Zayn was one of them.
That can't happen.
It can't.
That might be why he got hurt.
That's what people are saying. Damn, that he's kayfabe hurt. I doubt it though. I doubt it. There's no way Sami Zayn was. I know he drinks. He drinks. I know that.
If Big Larry has anything to say about it, then Sami Zayn got suspended.
Yeah, but Big Larry's just black, man. Like I don't think he's. He didn't talk about doing drugs. He was just talking about how black he was. By the way, if none of you have seen that, anything from Sami Zayn's Big Larry character back in the day, it's a little explicit. So don't go in without your parents' permission. Actually, you probably shouldn't ask for your parents' permission because they'll probably say no. So what you should do is grab a pair of headphones and go on YouTube and look up Sami Zayn, Big Larry, and I'm sure you'll find it. And it is the most marvelous gimmick of all time. I can't quote it because I'm trying to keep the show as PG as possible. Let's just say Sami Zayn and this what was his name, like dollar sign or something like that. These two white dudes, their gimmick was being black. and I'm not being racist in any way. Like I am just stating the facts. His gimmick was literally being black. He called himself black. He called every black person he saw a cracker. It was classic stuff. You guys need to go watch it. It was gold. And the guy next, the dollar sign, was wearing a Chargers jersey, which got me emotionally invested in watching the promo. Gone from San Diego. It got me excited. It was so good. It was a beautiful
As if Sami Zayn wasn't enough.
Big Larry. Oh, dollar sign Big Larry. I don't even know who you're referring to. It's all good. It's all perfect. But after this match, I'm gonna rate it a B for Braun. Just kidding, an F. You gonna rate it? Do you even want to grade this thing?
No.
Fair enough.
No.
It wasn't even. I don't even know if you can classify. I mean, I guess it's technically a match, technically speaking, but it just was not anything. It just didn't do anything, this whole squashing jobbers thing. I know it'll accumulate into something eventually, but for right now, it's just waste of television time. But after that, the Dudley Boys come out for their, I don't know if it was a retirement promo. It sounded like one.
Yeah.
But I doubt it because the way that they worded, they said, like, see you down the line. Or maybe they're talking about the Hall of Fame.
Maybe.
Because they definitely are a Hall of Fame tag team. And if they get put in this year, then, yeah, they're done probably. But, yeah, I mean, the Dudley Boys, they had this was, like, their 1 year anniversary, I guess, today. Or I think it was
yesterday.
Yesterday was their 1 year. I'm glad that they came back. Maybe came back for a little bit too long. Not for like my liking. I like the Dudley Boys. I like to have them around. They were good for the tag team division. Just to have a team in there who can lose and win. They weren't jobbers yet. They weren't this top team. I would have liked to see them win their titles, like the 10th title. But
It wasn't meant to be this year.
Yeah, it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be, and it might not ever. Yeah, and I'm sure they appreciate that. I'm sure they respect that.
Yeah,
because they just love wrestling, obviously.
Yeah, especially after what they did tonight. Especially if this was the end.
Yeah, exactly.
They let the Shining Stars interrupt, and then they let the club actually beat them up. So,
I feel like the Shining Stars was more like, I mean, it was better than them. It was better than nothing, but
yeah,
I was kind of like, okay, they're just there so they can get their last spots in. Okay, I get it. But then the club came out and just laid them out. I was like, okay, that was a really cool move. If the Dudley Boys are done, if this is it for them, that was cool to let the club get that heel heat off of attacking them. Smart move for whoever decided. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they suggested it, or one of them, if Bubba or Devon suggested it, because now the club have that jetpack on their back, and they're going straight to the top. Stuff like that happening
because they're past the year.
I hope they beat the New Day. I don't. They're not my favorite, the club, but I just want to.
They're famous by association, but they are good wrestlers. So.
Yeah.
Well, Carl Anderson is.
I mean, I wouldn't even mind if the New Day retained, and then they went on to do Jericho versus New Day, and Jericho takes the belts.
I would like that.
And they just hold them for a few months, and then they can do Jericho Owens at Mania, maybe. I would definitely like to see that. But yeah, so goodbye to the Dudley Boys. Good year.
It was solid.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for stopping by and losing.
Yeah, you also. I mean, Sami Zayn kind of retired him. Sami Zayn and Neville. They were the last match. That's cool. I'm so worried about Sami Zayn right now.
I know.
We'll can't stop bringing him up. Yeah, we'll have more. No, not injury-wise, just his position at the company. But yeah, we'll have time to talk about him at a future date. And hey, tomorrow I can't. We're going to be reviewing SmackDown tomorrow at the same time, 8:30.
His name will be dropped at least once.
Oh, yeah, probably. I'll probably be like, oh, Sami Zayn's better than this guy. That's typical me. But the main event of the show was Roman Reigns versus Chris Jericho. And a fun match. Definitely a fun match.
It was okay. I didn't mind it at all. But there's one thing that I do mind.
Yeah, I probably agree with you.
At Raw Pittsburgh. Why does Roman Reigns kick out of these huge-ass moves all the time? I just don't get it, because it was in the Fatal 4-Way. He kicked out of a Codebreaker, and I believe it was something else. But he just kept kicking out of it, and then he won. And then he ate a super kick tonight. He ate a super kick to the face into a Codebreaker. And you could say, oh, Jericho didn't cover him quick enough. But, come on. I wouldn't have had him kick out of that specific spot.
Exactly. He's always been like this, and it's always been this unfair thing where Roman hits one spear and it's over, but the other person hits their finisher a bunch of times and it's never over.
And tonight it was along with another move, another power move for the other superstar, like a super kick into a Codebreaker.
And he kicks out. With no effort. And then a minute later, he's hitting a spear and Jericho can't kick out. The biggest example was what?
Good.
Go. Okay. The biggest example was I believe it was Extreme Rules when they did Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles.
Yes. I know
he hit 3 finishers on him, and the last one was onto a steel chair.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal forearm, and then 2 Styles clashes. The second one onto a chair,
and he kicked out.
And then he did he went for a phenomenal forearm, and he speared him in midair. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. It's over. One spear, done. I don't like that. I like the fact that the spear is such a strong move. Cool. I like finishers like that where they finish the person off. Has anybody ever kicked out of a haluva kick?
I don't know.
I don't think so. So I like moves like that are strong and people can't kick out of. But when you're taking finishers from other people and kicking out of them before you hit your finisher on them and they can't kick out, it just makes them look weak. And I know, like, the whole make Roman look strong thing, but honestly, he's not really a top guy anymore.
He's not.
He main evented the show. It should have been Seth and Sammy, but he's not really a top guy. Now, okay, let me go look up real quick if there's any update on Sammy. I don't know if they're doing something for the story. I don't know what's up with that, but I want to try to figure out, because if it's like they didn't do anything on the show other than what they showed on that one match. No, doesn't seem to be anything. No updates from the WWE or anything like that. All right, so I don't know. We're gonna be left in suspension again. This is not the first time he's done this to me. It won't be the last time either. But it's okay. So that was the main event. Kevin Owens tried to interfere and help, but Roman Reigns is too good for that.
He's certainly in.
Yeah, he's too good. So he goes over Jericho with the spear. 1, 2, 3. He's going to the main event of next week's Monday Night Raw. So now we've got Seth Rollins versus Big Cass versus Roman Reigns versus
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens.
Which I believe is going to be a fun match.
It'll be a fun match. Not sure about Big Cass. That's kind of a sore thumb in my eyes.
Yeah, it's just, I feel like because the way he's booked is to be this big animal, this big just beast, and I feel like it's going to not mesh well with the other three.
Exactly. It's just the style clashing is weird, and the fact that he before this he has never ever really like been relevant as a singles wrestler. That's gonna be weird.
Yeah, and like all of a sudden,
the entire dynamic is a little strange, but
it's something we'll live with, and I can tell you right now, I could probably bet my house on it that Big Cass is not winning the title next week. So
yeah, I want to say that, but I don't put anything past Vince anymore. He just does some crazy stuff, man. Like, I didn't think Finn was gonna win, but he did. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold my tongue. I'm not gonna offer any prediction until wait and see who wins next week, and then we can talk about it. It's probably gonna be Seth. Well, see, now he's not gonna win. Now he's not gonna win. Watch. I don't know. We'll see.
Because I mean, why does Seth deserve to win, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I know.
The only one that would make sense is like it would if Jericho would have lost to Enzo and Cass the night before, Kevin would have kind of made sense, and if Jericho took the pin, Kevin would have kind of made sense. But that's not the case.
Kevin won't win. There's no way anybody in that match can win except for Seth. I'm sorry.
If they give it to Roman, I'll be very upset. And we're going to be back to square one without a vigilante Dean Ambrose to ruin the title feud, or to ruin the reign for Roman.
There just won't be. I can't say that though. I can't say there's no chance, because there's always a chance with Vince. You never know when he's going to pull some crazy ass move on us. So I mean, it's up in the air. But as far as I'm concerned, I guess I will offer my prediction. I think it's going to be Seth Rollins walking out with the title. I don't see it going any other way. As far as who he fights at Clash of the Champions, that's uncertain. Doubt it'll be any of the guys in that match. Praying on the fact that it'll be Sami Zayn. He tweeted something about doing a Kyle O'Reilly type. They're kind of like copying that, where Kyle O'Reilly was like getting so close to the title, but he was injured, and then he attacked the person who injured him, who then happened to be the champion. So Seth kind of injured Sammy in a way. He didn't really directly cause it, but he was there to watch the injury. He was there to
the best way in the house.
Injury. So I think Sami Zayn will come out, and hopefully that's what I'm praying. I can say that I'm praying for it all I want, but knowing Vince, it probably won't happen. Because when do I ever get what I want when it comes to wrestling?
Never.
Never, ever, ever, never, ever. And all I want is Sami Zayn to be relevant. I don't care if it's in the title spot or anything, but I'm saying it now, and I'll say it until the end of time. He should be in a top spot. And you're going to hear that every week until he is in a top spot. At that point, I'll be complaining why he isn't in the main event. And then when he's in the main event, I'll be complaining why he isn't a champion. And when he's a champion, I'll complain about
why he's not in the Hall of Fame yet.
Why he's not in the Hall of Fame. When he's in the Hall of Fame, I'll complain about. And you know what? Never mind. I think that's where it stops. Once he's in the Hall of Fame, we're good. We'll see. He's got some ways to go. All right, but yeah, that's all we got tonight. That was the show.
Did we grade the match? Did we grade the match?
No, not yet. I was about to say that. I'll give it a B plus. It was a fun one.
Yeah, I'll give it a B plus. Also, it's just it was there. Happened.
It happened. Roman won. No surprise.
Yeah.
I promised everybody pizza on Twitter if Jericho won because I knew it wasn't gonna happen.
And for a second, I thought the pizza was gonna happen for everybody.
Nope.
But when that move hit, then he kicked out, and I went, "Oh wait, he's wrestling Roman Reigns." Because why would he went off of that?
Exactly. You can't beat Roman Reigns. That's the moral of the story, and that's the moral of the night. If you're gonna leave this video with one thing in mind, is that you can never beat Roman Reigns.
He's unbeatable,
untouchable. You can't. But yeah, guys, that's the show. Again, good, solid episode of Raw. I wouldn't call it great. I wouldn't call it
definitely
good.
I wouldn't call it bad either because the last 3 weeks prior to this have just been awful.
Yeah, this looks like gold compared to the last few shows. They've been atrocious lately. To the build-up of SummerSlam, terrible.
And it gives Raw a fighting chance to actually win the battle this week against SmackDown.
Yeah, SmackDown's been coming through these last few weeks.
And SmackDown's been okay, but it hasn't been anything beyond special either.
Exactly. The thing is, like, SmackDown...
it's comparing shit to shit.
They've been winning, but it was like barely. It's been barely. They're crawling to the finish line.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can talk about that a lot, but we gotta wrap this up. My name is Aiden. I'm joined here with Eli tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Aiden and Eli, AIDEN ANDELI. We'll be back tomorrow with a live review of SmackDown, same time, 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific. Thank you to everybody who watched. Thank you to everybody who's going to be watching this in the future. And we hope you enjoy the show, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.
Peace.